Hi everyone, I'm Haley and my project looks at omni-channel retailing and the operations and supply chain implications. To begin, I'll start with an overview of omni-channel retail as an industry. In short, omni-channel describes retailers that integrate multiple, if not all, methods of shopping into their offerings. And so this could include an online store, a brick and mortar store, a catalog, social media, mobile apps, or many, many more. And I found one industry expert whose definition I particularly liked, and she described omnichannel as a modern approach to commerce that focuses on designing a cohesive experience for users at every touch point. And omnichannel has become incredibly important to retailers today because with so many ways for consumers to shop, retailers have to know which channels they need to sell through to reach them. And omnichannel is all about knowing who your customer is, what they want, and how they want to buy it. A lot of people today, in response to omnichannel, say that soon everything will be digital, so what's the point of utilizing all of these channels? And I thought that the statistic on the screen really underscored the importance of appealing to all consumers, no matter which channel they really gravitate towards. And of course, omnichannel also presents new challenges for operations and supply chain managers. So to give you an overview of the issues that I'll be covering today, first, different selling channels introduce retailers to different process activities, and these change a retailer's overall process capacity. Second, process variations lead to lead time implications. Third, lead time and demand variations affect the reorder point and safety stock, so I'll take a look at those calculations. And fourth, certain suppliers may become more or less important to omnichannel retailers depending on which selling channels they use. So to address the first issue of process capacity for omnichannel retailers, I've created a process variation map and utilization profile. I've chosen 3 channels as a sample today, which include traditional brick and mortar, which is shown in the pink icon, modern online stores shown in yellow, and a catalog shown in red. I've segmented the value chain into 4 very general process components that occur along a typical retail value chain. Obviously, these are very general, and were we doing this activity in real life, that would be much more specific, but for the purpose of simplicity and illustrating the points today, we'll use these 4 general components. So first, when it comes to product development, all channels likely take the same amount of time, as it doesn't take much more energy to actually produce an item that's sold in store versus online. So for that activity, I've allocated 6 months. We then move to selling channel production. Here we see variations begin to occur. For a brick and mortar store, it might require 2 months for store layout reviews or to produce the visual displays and ads that you would see in a store, whereas a catalog is very intensive and might take up to 6 months. Then we move to distribution. Online and catalog products are only shipped to a warehouse, so that might take only 1 week or a quarter of a month. Whereas products sold in-store are first shipped to the warehouse and then distributed to stores, so that might take up to 1 month. And finally, delivery to the consumers. This is instantaneous for brick and mortar stores where the shopper is purchasing an item over the counter, but it might take up to a week for a delivery of the package to a consumer who's ordered through a catalog or online. So using this process view, we can see that each channel has a different capacity, and as we know, our overall process capacity conforms to our bottleneck. So in this example, our catalog selling channel is our bottleneck, as it requires 13 months. And we can then view the utilization of each channel. So for brick and mortar, it has a 69% utilization rate, 58% for online, and 100% for catalog. So this is to say that if a retailer began product development and sourcing activities on the same day for all channels for a new season of products, the activities required to complete the process for brick and mortar stores would be fully complete 4 months prior to those for a catalog. But the retailer would have to wait 4 more months until all channel processes were complete to begin selling those products, as retailers usually release a new season across all channels simultaneously. These process variations raise some lead time implications. As I said a moment ago, when retailers use multiple channels to sell the same products, their processes conform to the capacity of the bottleneck channel, which was the catalog in the previous example. And this may result in underutilized channels, which was online and in-store for the previous example, as well as less accurate forecasts for certain channels, and varying levels of inventory and safety stock, which I'll illustrate in the following slides. So to illustrate the safety stock example, I've created a fictional retailer, Omni-Channel retailer HH Jean, and they sell trendy jeans through their online store, a retail store, and their catalog. On the left, I have outlined the parameters for demand and lead time, and it's important to note that HH Jean's goal is to have an 85% service level. So on the right, you can see that using our safety stock equation, we have determined that the safety stock levels vary quite significantly for each channel. 234 units of safety stock is required for an 85% service level for online, whereas only 95 units are required for catalog. Using that safety stock information, we can then look at our reorder point for each channel. For the online channel, when our inventory gets to 534 units, we want to reorder. And then jumping down to catalog, it's much lower at 395 units. We want to start reordering. So these equations applied to each selling channel individually allow supply chain managers to better manage demand uncertainty by providing two key advantages. The first is knowing the differences in safety stock for each channel more effectively prevents stockouts and allows retailers to better reach their service level goals. And second, knowing when to reorder for each channel allows retailers to more effectively manage inventory while keeping their costs low. My final point relates to the importance of suppliers to omni-channel retailers, which really goes back to Kralik and our discussion of his theories at the beginning of this semester. And that's to say that each of these selling channels may require a distinctive purchasing approach whose complexity is in proportion to the strategic implications. So once retailers have considered the issues that I've reviewed today, certain suppliers will likely become more or less important in optimizing their processes and in getting the right products to the right consumers using the right channels. In conclusion, I wanted to leave you with one final thought, and that is that supply chain and operations managers can optimize omni-channel retail by adjusting processes and sourcing activities to best manage their supply chain in response to variations in their selling channels. Thanks for tuning in.